Ladies and gentlemen, we just watched another amazing game from the Indiana Fever as they beat the Seattle Storm in a close game. And you won't believe who put on the absolute show for the Indiana Fever. Lexie Hull. She had a career night for the Indiana Fever as they beat the Seattle Storm in a great fashion and a great win, honestly. Lexie Hull, career night, she had 22 points and 1 rebound against the Seattle Storm, which was honestly a performance that she needed going forward because Lexie Hull normally averages around 4 points per game. So the fact that she had 22 points might just secured her a spot to stay on the Indiana Fever going forward. Lexie Hull, out of 22 points, she shot 6 for 7 from the 3-point line, and everybody was going crazy, honestly. It was a great environment and experience if you guys were watching the game, man. The whole crowd was getting into it. Lexie Hull, she had her family there, so it looks like she honestly plays better when she has her family in attendance, so she should honestly keep that up. But anyway, besides that, she put on an incredible performance for the Indiana Fever as they beat the Seattle Storm 95-72, which was honestly a close game at one point. The Seattle Storm were leading most of the game until the third and fourth quarter when the Indiana Fever picked it up and just kept going. When Indiana Fever keep it going, push the metal to the pedal, they're really hard to stop right now because they're a young, hungry team compared to a lot of other players in the WNBA currently. So it's honestly great to see what they did as a team. And going forward, if Lexie Hull can honestly just keep this up, average at least 10 to 15 points a game, they'll honestly be a problem because, as you guys know, the way the Indiana Fever are playing basketball right now, the 3 players that are honestly going to be combining for 60 to 70 points every single game is Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kay Mitchell. Those are the Indiana Fever's 3 main players and 3 main scorers that are going to combine at least 60 to 70 points every single game. And if Lexie Hull can at least give you 10 to 15 points, that would be around 80 points, and that's all you really need to win in a WNBA game, if we're going to be honest with you. You just need that 4th player to be able to at least give you 10 to 15 points every single game, and the Indiana Fever should honestly win the majority of their games going forward. So that's honestly all you need, and you guys saw that tonight from Lexie Hull. She gave 22 points, 22 unanswered points from the Seattle Storm. Indiana Fever won 92-75 because she had those 22 points. So she played a great role tonight for the Indiana Fever's great win against the Seattle Storm. And if you guys don't know, the Seattle Storms are not some slouch team. They're one of the best teams in the WNBA. So the fact that the Indiana Fever were able to beat the Seattle Storm is a good sight and a good sight in the right direction. And I know a lot of other WNBA teams that are at the top, I know they're not looking forward to playing the Indiana Fever in the playoffs. I know one team that's not looking forward is the New York Liberty. They're probably happy that they won't be playing the Indiana Fever in the first round because that's potentially be an upset, or other teams as well can be an upset. As you guys can see right here, the standings right now, the Liberty have clinched the playoffs. They're the best team in the WNBA, but it looks like they'll be facing whoever's going to be on the 8th seed. And right now, they would be facing the Chicago Sky. And right now, the Indiana Fever are the 7th seed right now, with 12 games remaining in the season. So they could potentially move up to the 6th spot or the 5th spot if they win all their games out. So right now, it honestly looks like the Indiana Fever could be playing the Connecticut Suns in the playoffs, maybe the Minnesota Lynx, or the Aces, or the Storms. We honestly don't know since there's 12 games left remaining in the season, and anything can happen with these seedings going forward. One of these top teams can honestly just drop off a cliff going forward. So we'll honestly have to see what happens, but I know none of the top teams want to see Indiana Fever because that's honestly, Indiana Fever is the only seed that's a higher seed that has a chance of knocking off of any of the lower seeds. That's the only team that has a shot at that because Indiana Fever have so many advantages. They have home court advantage, they have away advantages because everyone's there to see Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever play. So they have so many advantages compared to all the other teams in the WNBA. It's going to be great to see who they're going to be playing going forward, but it's honestly great to see what Lexie Hull has done tonight. had a career night, 22 points, and honestly really helped the Indiana Fever beat the Seattle Storm. So if she can honestly just keep this up and be more consistent, man, the Indiana Fever are going to be a scary sight. If she could just make her open 3-point shots, like, Indiana Fever are going to be unguardable, and Caitlin Clark is definitely going to be unguardable, because you honestly won't be able to leave her open if she can make her open 3-point shots. And that honestly just gives Caitlin Clark the open lane to get an easy layup, an easy point. So it's great to see what Lexie Hull is finally doing. And if you guys don't know, Lexie Hull in college, she was actually known to be a 3-point shooter. But when she got to the WNBA, she just honestly forgot how to shoot. And the fact that now she's able to shoot again and she's finally showing her potential and ability, this is all the Indiana Fever honestly needed and wanted from her, is to her to make her open 3-point shots. And she finally did that tonight. 22 points, 6 for 7 from the 3-point line. So if she can just keep this more consistent going forward, that's all the Indiana Fever need. They won't be trading Lexie Hull or anything. They won't need more players or nothing. She can just keep this consistent going forward. Lexie Hull will have a bright future with the Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark. So we like to see them going forward on the same team. But Lexie Hull has to do her part and stay consistent like she did tonight, dropping 22 points. If she can just keep on being more productive, then she will stay with the Indiana Fever going forward. And I would honestly like to see her teaming up with Caitlin Clark and staying on the same team after this season. So wanted to see what happens, but what do you guys feel about Lexie Hull's career night performance with the Indiana Fever?